Stop. No. Don't blink. Look up. Your jaw's tight. Your hands are still. That pause you just did? That's the tell. I've seen it too many times. And that's when the air shifted. I'm standing in a room that feels calm in a way that doesn't match the temperature. She's quiet, not angry, not disappointed. Quiet like the argument never arrived. You'd think this is peace. You'd think something finally worked. My chest loosens for half a second and I hate that it does. This isn't me. This feels familiar. I watch him misread it. I've misread it. The relief hits first. The body celebrates before the brain checks the facts. She isn't asking questions anymore. She isn't correcting details. She isn't circling the same issue at midnight. She's smiling small. She's sleeping early. She's still here. That's the contradiction. Calm feels like safety and loss at the same time. The room felt different all of a sudden. I'm present. I'm listening. I'm not intervening. I'm noticing the silence has texture now. Heavy, padded, rehearsed. The kind of quiet that absorbs sound instead of echoing it. He leans back. He thinks the storm passed. I feel something inside me turn. This isn't me. This feels familiar. I don't like how accurate this is. Here's the first thing I learned the hard way. Arguments don't end relationships. They keep them warm. Noise is friction. Friction is contact. When someone stops fighting, it's not because they're finally okay. It's because they've stopped trying to move you. That's not maturity. That's withdrawal. I watch weeks compress. Dinner conversations shorten. The eye contact holds for a beat less. She still laughs, on cue. She still reaches for him, by habit. Her body is present. Her attention is elsewhere. And nobody calls it what it is yet. He tells himself a belief that sounds reasonable. That belief is wrong. He believes peace means progress. The cost shows up quietly. He stops checking in. He stops asking why. The absence rewards him. Less tension, more sleep. He doesn't notice she's grieving in advance. He doesn't see the private processing happening beside him. She's doing the math without showing her work. There was a quiet second, and everything clicked. I notice how she keeps a list now. Not written, remembered. Every small dismissal, every promise delayed, every apology that arrived empty. She doesn't bring them up, she files them. That's the irreversibility beginning. Once the filing starts, the outcome is already leaning. Here's the part most people never notice. The detachment isn't sudden, it's procedural. It happens in the shower, on commutes, while folding clothes. It happens while the other person is certain things are stable. That's the false peace. It feels earned. It isn't. I'm still here, watching, listening to what isn't said. My breath goes shallow. I recognize the pattern. Some women do this. Some men too. People who learned early that asking twice is begging. People who learned that clarity costs too much. So they leave quietly. They don't announce the exit. They rehearse it. They mourn while the other person is celebrating. And just when I thought it was done, it wasn't. The belief breaks here. Peace does not mean healed. Silence does not mean forgiven. Comfort can be camouflage. If the relationship suddenly feels easier, ask what labor stopped. Ask who got tired. Ask what conversation never came back. I see him plan a future inside a present that already expired. Trips, purchases, promises. He's investing into a structure she's already vacated emotionally. The asymmetry is brutal. One person is still negotiating. The other has closed talks. This is where the name finally fits, and I say it once because saying it more cheapens it. Relationship quiet quitting. Not loud, not dramatic, administrative, like turning off lights room by room. After the reveal, the metaphor hits and then I drop it. It's like living with someone who already moved out but left their coat on the chair so you wouldn't notice yet. The silence changed before the truth did. Here's the cost nobody budgets for. When the ending finally arrives, it won't look like pain. It will look like calm. She will say it's over without heat because the heat burned out months ago. He will feel blindsided because he measured health by noise. She will feel finished because she did the leaving early. I can't unsee this. I watch the moment approaching, slow and inevitable. I don't warn him. I can't. He wouldn't hear it yet. He's still rewarding the quiet. Still confusing relief with repair. Still thinking absence of conflict is presence of love. There's a sharp silence now. It cuts. Then a heavy one settles. I exhale, once, controlled. If this is landing, it's because your body recognized something your mind avoided. The jaw, the hands, the pause at the start, that wasn't random. That was memory without pictures. I'm stopping here on purpose. The room isn't done changing. If you want the rest, what happens when the words finally land, what the cold actually means, and why this pattern comes back if you don't look at it, say the word. I don't raise my voice when it finally happens. The room doesn't need it. The temperature drops without permission, and just when I thought it was done, it wasn't. She says it calmly, too calmly. No tremor, no bargaining tone. His hands don't know what to do, so they freeze. The jaw locks again. Same place as before. That's the mirror nobody likes. This isn't me. This feels familiar. He asks why now. That question always comes late. She answers with a sentence that sounds thin because the weight is already gone. She doesn't list the reasons. She doesn't argue her case. She already had those conversations, alone, months ago, in silence, in advance. Here's the contradiction that breaks people. She looks heartless, and she feels relieved. He looks shocked, and he finally feels something real. Pain arrives out of order. Timing becomes the villain. The silence here is sharp. It slices through the idea that love ends loudly. I can feel something inside me turning again. This isn't me. This feels familiar. I don't like how accurate this is. People think the coldness is cruelty. It's not. It's efficiency. By the time the words come out, the grief has already been metabolized. What you're seeing isn't detachment, it's completion. But here's what no one tells you. The person who quiet quits doesn't feel powerful. They feel empty in a specific way. Not numb, done. There's a difference, and it matters. I've watched some men replay every quiet night, trying to find the exact moment it went wrong. They always land on the wrong scene. They look for the fight that ended things. They miss the fight that never happened. The false belief returns here, one last time before it dies. If it was serious, I would have known. No, if it was serious, it got quiet. The cost shows up later, in the next relationship, in the flinch when silence appears again, in the way calm starts to feel unsafe. Once this pattern hits you, your nervous system remembers it before you do. There was a quiet second, and everything clicked. Not for him, for you. Because this isn't just about her leaving, it's about how absence trains you. You learn to relax when pressure disappears. You learn to stop checking. You learn to trust comfort without verifying connection. That's how the cycle tightens. Some people leave early so they don't have to leave broken. Some people stay loud because silence feels like death. Neither is clean. Both leave scars you don't see at first, and right when you think it's over, it isn't. The aftermath is where the damage hides. He replays the last 6 months, frame by frame. Every smile feels counterfeit now. Every quiet night feels staged. The memory edits itself into something crueler than it was. She moves on faster than expected. That's the part that gets judged. What nobody sees is that she moved on before she moved out. What looks like speed is actually delay paying off. The room felt different all of a sudden. Not emptier, finished. Here's the line people argue with, and they should. Quiet quitting doesn't mean the leaver is right. It means the conversation failed twice, once out loud, once in private. Disagree with that if you want. Your body already picked a side. The metaphor lands now and I drop it fast. It's like discovering the fire alarm was removed weeks before the smoke showed up. I watch him try to negotiate with a version of her that doesn't exist anymore. He promises change to someone who already changed alone. That's the irreversibility. Once the internal goodbye is said, words arrive too late. I can't unsee this. The shame shows up small. He remembers feeling relieved when she stopped asking questions. He remembers liking the quiet. That memory burns worse than the breakup itself. Breath catches, then releases. If even one part of this felt like your life, you and I are built from the same scars. Once you see this, it doesn't go away. Here's the sentence that stays, whether you want it to or not. The relationship didn't end when she left. It ended when it got peaceful. Watch this again and notice a different detail. The body always reacts before the story does. I let the silence sit one more beat, heavy this time. Tonight, or tomorrow, you'll notice a quiet moment differently. A pause that feels earned. A calm that arrives too easily. Your chest will decide before you do. Picture yourself standing in that quiet room, someone next to you. Nothing wrong, nothing loud, and ask yourself what stopped moving. Some people will hear this and feel exposed. Some will feel accused. Some will feel seen and say nothing. That separation is already happening. Avoid this, and the pattern doesn't disappear. It waits.